Life has always felt a little different for me. From a young age, I knew I could sense things others couldn't. It's like having an extra set of senses, but instead of sight or sound, it's emotions, energies, and sometimes even glimpses of the past or future. It's hard to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it. Imagine walking into a room and instantly feeling the emotions of everyone there. Their joy, sadness, anger, fear. It's a lot to process. Sometimes I see images, flashes of events, or hear whispers of thoughts. It can be overwhelming, like trying to follow a conversation with 100 different voices all talking at once. But it's also incredibly powerful and humbling. It's shown me that there's so much more to life than what we see on the surface. There's an entire world of energy and connection that most people aren't even aware of. Imagine walking down the street and feeling a wave of sadness wash over you. You look around, but there's nothing obviously wrong. That's what it's like for me, constantly picking up on the emotions of those around me. Sometimes it's a gentle hum, a feeling of contentment or excitement. Other times, it's a powerful surge of emotion that can leave me feeling drained and overwhelmed. It's like having an invisible antenna that picks up on the vibrations of others. I can often sense when someone is going through a tough time, even if they're trying to hide it. It's like their energy shifts, becoming heavier, darker. It can be a lot to carry, especially when it's negative energy, but it also makes me more empathetic and compassionate. There are times when the energy I pick up on is downright unsettling. Fear especially has a way of cutting through everything else. It's sharp, piercing, and it sends chills down my spine. I've learned to trust my intuition when it screams at me. There have been times I felt an overwhelming sense of dread, a feeling that something bad is going to happen. Once I was walking to my car late at night and was gripped by a visceral fear. I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching me, that danger lurked just around the corner. I trusted my gut and changed my route, my heart pounding in my chest. Later I found out that there had been a string of robberies in the area I had avoided. Those experiences are terrifying, but they also serve as a stark reminder of the power of intuition and the importance of trusting those inner whispers. Living with this gift, if you can call it that, has been anything but easy. People who don't understand psychic abilities often dismiss it as nonsense, imagination, or even delusion. I've been called a fake, a fraud, and worse. It's hurtful, especially when you're just trying to navigate a world that doesn't quite understand you. Explaining what I do is like trying to describe color to someone who's been blind since birth. How do you put into words something that's so deeply personal, so intertwined with your very being? It's frustrating, feeling like you're constantly being judged and misunderstood. But I've learned that I don't need everyone to understand. What matters is staying true to myself and my abilities. Section 5. The burden of knowing. One of the biggest challenges is learning to manage the constant influx of information and emotions. It's easy to get overwhelmed, to feel like you're drowning in a sea of other people's energy. There are times when I just want to shut it all off, to experience the world without this extra layer of perception. But I know I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's a part of who I am, and it's allowed me to connect with people on a deeper level, to offer comfort and guidance in ways I never thought possible. It's a gift, even when it feels like a burden. Section 6. The importance of psychic freedom. It's crucial for psychics to have the freedom to explore and develop our abilities without fear of judgment or ridicule. We need spaces where we can connect with others who understand, where we can share our experiences and learn from one another. Suppression and denial only serve to stifle our gifts and prevent us from reaching our full potential. When we're free to be ourselves, to embrace our abilities, we can use them to make a positive difference in the world. Section 7. Navigating a skeptical world. Living in a world that often dismisses or sensationalizes psychic abilities can be isolating. We're often portrayed in the media as either spooky fortune tellers or superheroes with supernatural powers. The reality is far more nuanced. We're just ordinary people who happen to experience the world a little differently. We face the same challenges as everyone else, but we also have to contend with the added burden of skepticism and misunderstanding. It can be tiring, constantly having to explain ourselves to defend our experiences. Section 8. Finding my tribe, connecting with others. Despite the challenges, there's a beautiful sense of community among those of us who walk this path. We understand each other in a way that others can't. We share a common language, a shared experience of the world that transcends words. Finding those connections, those kindred spirits, has been a lifeline for me. It's a reminder that I'm not alone, that there are others out there who understand what it's like to navigate this world with an open heart and an open mind. Section 9. A plea for acceptance. My hope is that one day, psychic abilities will be met with the same level of acceptance and understanding as any other human variation. We don't need to fear what we don't understand. Instead, let's approach these abilities with curiosity, open-mindedness, and a willingness to learn from one another. We all have something unique to offer the world. Let's create a society where everyone feels safe and supported in expressing their authentic selves, regardless of how different or unusual those selves may seem.